do I want to watch this? It's just going to trigger me. One day ago.
We're adding $1 trillion to the national debt every 100 days right now. And that's
oh, God. Wait, is this the guy? Minecraft? Or am I mixing him up with somebody else? This is... Okay. Notch. No? Yes? No? Wait, what was Notch's name? Oh, no. Different Marcus. Okay, who the fuck is this guy? American businessman and former software engineer. Yes, they know everything about everything. True. Silicon Valley, thank God. It's so crazy that San Francisco and Silicon Valley were like the tech elite enemies of the red-blooded American Chevy Silverado, Ford F-150 truck nuts loving American. And now they love these guys. It's so crazy how the 180 was in like less than 12 months.
Be adding $1 trillion every 90 days, and then it's going to be adding $1 trillion every 80 days.
And all these Silicon Valley guys somehow became obsessed with the debt. I don't understand how. Tom Bilyeu, the guy, obviously the impact theory guy, and I feel like every tech Silicon Valley guy became obsessed with the debt. I don't know why.
And then it's going to be $1 trillion every 70 days. And then if this doesn't get fixed at some point, we enter a hyperinflationary spiral and we become Argentina or Brazil and kablooey, right? And so like everybody in DC knows that something has to be done. And then everybody in DC knows for a fact that it's impossible to do anything. Right? They know all the problems and they also know the sheer impossibility of fixing it. But I think what they're not taking into account, what the critics are not taking into account is...
He's not going to say the most fucking expanded asshole dick ride shit ever. What they're not taking into account is how effective Elon Musk is. He's not going to say that, right?
These guys can do this in the full light of day, and they can do it on social media. They can completely bypass the press. They can completely bypass the cynicism. They can expose any element of, unconstitutional or, silly government spending. They can run victory laps every single day on what they're doing. They can bring the people into the process.
They haven't done anything yet, though. Like, people are already involved. If you want, we can change all of this. Every single thing Trump has done has gone to increasing the debt. I'm not going on any Twitter space. Those things are boring as fuck. I'll watch the highlights tomorrow if there's anything interesting.
And again, if you think about it, this goes back to our Machiavellian structure, which is, if you think about, again, you've got democracy, oligarchy, monarchy, rule of the many, rule of the few, rule of the one. You could think about what's happening here as a little bit of a sandwich, right? Which is we don't have a monarch, but we have a president, rule of the one with some power. And then we have the people who can't organize, but they can be informed and they can be aware and they can express themselves through voting and polling, right? And so there's a sandwich happening right now is the way to think about it, which is you've got basically monarchy. You've got rule of one combining with rule of many, right? And rule of many is they do get to vote, right? The people do get to vote, basically. And then essentially Congress and this sort of permanent bureaucratic class in Washington as the oligarchy in the middle.
Congress is not a permanent bureaucratic thing. They're voted on constantly. They're not unelected bureaucrats, but okay. These people they all have a disdain for Congress because they just hate, because they were retarded, really, I guess.
And so the White House plus the people, I think, have the power to do all kinds of things here.
Oh, there we go. At least, thank you. Not that it matters. They're more honest. This is fascism. Remember what I've said over and over again. It's not just getting rid of Congress and the judiciary, and it's not even just the executive branch. It is the president. That is the only people that they want involved. He just described that populist curve into totalitarian authoritarianism. Totalitarian in that just one man, the president, can do everything, every part. He's not talking about the control of the media and everything. Now, it's assumed, right? Well, no, he is talking about control of the media. I'm so sorry. Why did I grant it? He is, because they can communicate all of this through the state-run media, X. And authoritarian is such that, fuck Congress, we don't need it. We'll just do whatever the fuck we want. Thank you for being honest about it, at least.
The White House plus the people, I think, have the power to do all kinds of things here. And I think that would be the way I would watch it.
The transparency. I mean, Elon just, by who he is incentivized to be transparent and show the bullshit in the system and to celebrate the victories. Yep. So it's going to be so exciting. I mean, honestly, it just makes government more exciting, which is a win for everybody.
Remember, that is a retarded child's approach to politics. What grabs your attention and what's exciting is not always what is good or healthy. especially for the country.
For everybody.
These people are spending our money.
Yeah.
These people have enormous contempt for the taxpayer. Okay, here's the thing you hear in Washington. Here's one of the things. So the first thing you hear is this is impossible. They'll be able to do nothing. And then, I walk them through this and they're like, it starts to dawn on them that this is a new kind of thing. And then they're like, well, it doesn't matter because all the money is in entitlements and the debt and the military. And so like, yeah, you've got like this silly fake, whatever, NPR funding or whatever. And like, it's a rounding error and it doesn't matter. And you look it up in the budget and it's like, whatever, $500 million or $5 billion, or it's the charging stations that don't exist. It's the $40 billion of charging stations and they build 8 charging stations, or it's the...
What is that even a reference to? $40 billion charging stations. $9 billion, $7.5 billion, $623 million. Pete Buttigieg already debunked it. They're coming.
It's the broadband internet plan that delivered broadband to nobody, right? And cost you $30 billion. Like, so these boondoggles. And what everybody in Washington says is that $30 billion is a rounding error on the federal budget. It doesn't matter.
Who says that? $30 billion? That's a decent chunk of federal money. If you're talking about your discretionary spending of $1.5 trillion, $30 billion is a decent chunk of change. This guy is a billionaire, right? So he should have a better understanding of the scale of the money involved, right? It's a fucking retarded statement, but okay. But maybe he doesn't do government. It's a GOP talking point. Oh, my bad. I'm evaluating these like actual statements that have like truth values and shit. My bad.
Who cares if they make it go away? And of course, any taxpayer is like, what the fuck?
What do you mean?
It's $30 billion. Right, and then the experts are like, and the press is in on this too. Then the experts are like, well, it doesn't matter because it's a rounding error. No, it's $30 billion. And if you're this cavalier about $30 billion, imagine how cavalier you are about the $3 trillion.
Yeah.
Okay. Then there's $30 billion. Is $30 billion a lot of the federal budget in percentage? No, it's not. But $30 billion divided by do the math. $30 billion divided by, let's say, 300 million taxpayers. Right? Like, what's that? Math expert?
$100.
$100 per taxpayer per year.
Did he expect that to be a lot more? Was he thinking that answer was going to be like $100,000 per person? What? Sorry.
Okay, so $100 to an ordinary person working hard every day to make money and provide.
He's trying so hard. He's trying so hard to salvage that one. Oh, God.
$30 billion. Is $30 billion a lot of the federal budget in percentage? No, it's not. But $30 billion divided by, do the math, $30 billion divided by, let's say, 300 million taxpayers. Right? Like, what's that? Math expert?
$100.
$100 per taxpayer per year. Okay, so $100 to an ordinary person working hard every day to make money and provide for their kids. $100 is a meal out.
These days, it's a whole carton of eggs.
It's a trip to the amusement park. It's the ability. $100 is a meal out. Working hard every day.
Damn, what meals are you going to eat for $100? I don't think inflation is that bad yet. Wait, what the fuck? Or is he talking about like a full on, like, are we talking like a full Outback Steakhouse visit? Like,
to make money and provide for their kids. $100 is a meal out.
I guess if you have like a family of 4 and you're going to like a decently nice place, yeah, sure, okay.
It's a trip to the amusement park. It's the ability to, buy additional educational materials. It's the ability to have a babysitter, to be able to have a romantic relationship with your wife.
$100 is doing anything for a babysitter? A year?
There's like 100 things that person can do with $100.
For my wife, this is a billionaire moment. This guy's having a billionaire moment. $100 a year. I love the contrast between Trump saving you $100 a year is like the most important thing ever. Oh, fuck. But this lady, find me the video. Fuck my name.
values.
Why can't I find this? Wait, what the fuck? Eating. Was it this?
Tax cut for wealthy billionaires.
A couple $1,000s isn't going to change my life, especially when
Another $6,000 a year wouldn't help you at all with groceries.
with 2 children.
Yeah?
This much maybe, but if the
What
price
are your
of
children
groceries-
eating?
Okay, pause.
$500 a month is not helping you with groceries? $500 a month? Bro, what?
That they're not doing because it's going to some bullshit program that is being basically where the money's being looted. Out in the form of just like ridiculousness and graft. And so the idea that $30 billion program is not something that is like a very important thing to go after is just like the level of contempt for the taxpayer is just off the charts. And then that's just one of those programs. And there's like 100 of those programs. And they're all just like that. Like, it's not like any of this stuff is running well. Like, the one thing we know is that none of this stuff is running well. Like, we know that for sure. Right.
Why? What's not running well? What do you mean? It's just a fucking disaster? The United States is not running well. With the largest economy in the world is just dominating the entire world. The recovery after COVID, the fact that people like Elon Musk or you even came here, we lead the world in technology, intellectual property, imports, export. Like, what do you mean? We don't.
Right. And we know these people aren't showing up to work. And like, we know that all this crazy stuff is happening.
Please don't project. I'm so sorry. Who did I used to hate? Oh, it was the middle class. I used to hate the middle class. I think it was that fucking schizo emailer dude that did it to me. There is a new group of people that I hate more than the middle class, and it's anybody that works in software. You don't know, like, the first 20 years of software development was literally you fucking retards rediscovering, like, basic principles of engineering. Like architects would show up to a building site and every single person would grab imagine you're building a building and everybody shows up with their own building supplies and starts building shit, and by the end you've got some piece of shit that falls over. This is what software development was like until like 2012 in the United States. Okay, it's like, oh, we gotta work together on projects, and we need whole frameworks, and there's gotta be it was like computer programs where you're like, oh shit, maybe we're gonna call ourselves software engineers. We have to actually learn how to do actual engineering and work on teams and coordinate on projects. Okay, number one, so fuck you guys are retarded for that. Number two, 90% of you are fucking retards, okay? When people like Elon Musk come in and they fire 80% of Twitter, it's not because he's a business genius. It's because all of the tech world is built around this hyper-accelerationism and making as much revenue as possible without trimming any of the fat. So most of you fucking retards hang around at your jobs doing literally fuck all, okay? Until somebody comes in and is like, private equity buys your shit up, or they need to be profitable. I'm like, okay, sorry, we got to get rid of most of you guys because we can't have the 2 people at this place that actually do 95% of the work carrying your fucking asses anymore, all right? And now that ChatGPT and whatever the fuck else is here is in existence, we actually totally don't need you anymore, okay? I don't need your guys' opinions on running anything in business ever, okay? Holy fuck. Kill me in a video game. Wait, 1 second. My God, I hate software. Everybody. I hate all programmers, all software people. I hate them all. And now they're going to tell us all how to run businesses. Kill me.
Happening, right? And like, you know, do you remember Elon's story of the? Do you remember Elon's story of what got the Amish to turn out to vote in Pennsylvania? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So like Pennsylvania. Okay, so Pennsylvania is like a wonderful state, great history. It has these cities like Philadelphia that have descended like other cities into just like complete chaos, violence, madness, and death, right? And the federal government has just like let it happen.
What? I'm not. Did I? Maybe did he say Washington D.C.? Is that what he said? And I misheard him.
Okay, so Pennsylvania is like a wonderful state, great history. It has these cities like Philadelphia that have descended like other cities into just like complete chaos, violence, madness, and death.
Okay. Okay.
Right, and the federal government has just like let it happen.
The federal government has failed Philadelphia. Gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Incredibly violent places. And so the Biden administration decided that the big pressing law enforcement thing that they needed to do in Pennsylvania was that they needed to start raiding Amish farms to let it happen. It's incredibly violent places. And so the Biden administration decided that the big pressing law enforcement thing that they needed to do in Pennsylvania was that they needed to start raiding Amish farms to prevent them from selling raw milk.
What is this? What do we even? The crime is a state issue. What the federal government's also, there's a lot of different divisions of the federal government that do different things. Were all of the federal resources focused on this one issue, or what?
With armed raids.
Right.
And it turns out it really pissed off the Amish. And it turns out they weren't willing to drive to the polling places because they don't have cars. But if you came and got them, they would go and they would vote. And that's one of the reasons why Trump won. Anyway, so like...
How many... I'm just curious real quick. How many Amish live in Philadelphia, or not, in Pennsylvania? 81,000 people. That's the largest Amish population. Okay. Can I find... How did Amish vote? Is this even like recorded in 2024? Oh, we got a New York Post article, a Times of India article. Okay. The Times. Wait, I don't even know what this is. The Times? Whatever you're doing, don't do it. Honey, where are you? The raw milk thing was probably an FDA issue, but the federal government has no authority over law enforcement of fucking Philadelphia. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, if my guess is going to be has to do with selling some non-FDA approved thing. But it's funny that he brings up like the destruction of Philadelphia, and then he talks about going out to get the Amish. How are these things even related to each other? We used to just pray for a better president because this was our way. According to the community's own estimates, up to 60% of the Amish in the state voted this year, and they all unanimously backed Trump. 100% of them? The Amish live incredibly close to Philadelphia. Were they contributing to the destruction of the city through crime? How are these things related to each other? Fuck, I guess all you can go by are like exit polls or whatever, huh? Pennsylvania vote 2024. If we assume 40 away and 40, even if they said up to 60% would be, what, 50,000? If all 50,000 left Trump, it would be 493, and all 50,000 went to Kamala, it'd be 473. Even if every single Amish person that voted for Kamala would have swung it. That's assuming that 100% of them voted for Trump or whatever, but this is the story of Pennsylvania? Was the Amish? Were the raids for even bad reasons? Mark is saying that instead of going after crime in Philly, Biden was focused on raiding the Amish. He's just saying their priorities were misplaced. How are the priorities misplaced? Crime in Philadelphia is not the purview of the federal fucking government. That's the purview of the state government of Pennsylvania and then the city policing force in Philadelphia. That's not the job of the U.S. federal government. That's retarded. That's why he's connecting the two, though. Oh, sure. Yeah, but you have to look at it from a fasci perspective. Lancaster County farm raid linked to illegal raw milk, dairy products after illness. A Lancaster County farm is under investigation in connection to out-of-state reported foodborne illnesses, according to the state's Department of Agriculture. That's the state's Department of Agriculture. The Pennsylvania State Department of Agriculture officials and state police were at Miller's Organic Farm, located at 648. This was posted on January 5th of last year. Because it's 2025. Wait, was this even the feds then? Pennsylvania State Department of Agriculture officials and state police were at Miller's Organic Farm. The Department of Agriculture says investigators were looking for illegal raw milk and products like eggnog at the farm. There were 2 reported cases of the foodborne pathogen STEC, Shiga toxin producing E. coli, in December in minors. According to the Agriculture Department, ground beef and raw eggnog from Miller's Farm was tested after one of the underage people in New York consumed it, and both products were positive for STEC. Isn't this the kind of shit you would want your Agriculture Department doing? Like, isn't it, if there was anything that we ever wanted them to regulate, wouldn't it be shit like this? What? In Michigan, there was another report from a minor who tested positive for STEC, and then... Okay. State police say that they were there to help provide security for Department of Agriculture officials serving the warrant. Agriculture Department. If it says Agriculture Department, state, was this all state stuff or? I'm just... Also, Miller never had a permit? Sure, but I'm just curious if this even involved the feds at all. In 2020, about 3,400 of them voted. So the chances that a ton of them voted in 2024 is probably not even that high, or... Control F agriculture, Control F department, Control F milk. The Tribune. Amish Tribune of what? The Express Tribune? What the fuck is this publication? Mohsin Naqvi, Ayaz Sadiq discuss PTI's attitude amid political standoff. Honey, chill. What? I don't even know what the fuck this website is. Should I? Is this Pakistan? What? Amish voter turnout feels Trump's victory in Pennsylvania amidst raw milk raid outrage. If Trump wins Pennsylvania, we'll owe it all to this man. Scott Presley registered 180,000 Amish first-time voters. Wait, how many Amish in Pennsylvania? Maybe it was in other states too? Wait, one person? This says there's less than 100,000 Amish people in Pennsylvania. What? This guy registered 180,000 voters on his own? All of these websites are dead rags that were resurrected in the late 2000s. Okay, so this is all just fucking literal fake news shit. Okay. Fucking retards. Just retards in software engineering. Dipshits in crypto did crypto and think they could talk about finance. Dipshits in software engineering fucking touched an AI one time with their dick, and now they think they're fucking political experts. Okay, and none of this sounds like it even involved the federal government. But, okay.
Needed to start raiding Amish farms to prevent them from selling raw milk.
Also, and it sounds like, I love that stupid smile, you egg-headed fucking retard. I hope this fucking light melts your head for whatever is even left inside of it. Like, I like how he just gives that, like, for no reason, obviously. Like, the federal government was just so fucking bored. They just decided to go and raid. They just raided poor farmers for no reason. Like, doesn't even give, for a microsecond, like, one reason or rationalization for why they might have raided. Just, does that... Okay.
With armed raids.
Right.
And it turns out... Really,
Why do you, like, armed raids? As opposed to, what? Do you think police officers are going to show up without their guns? What do you, like, yeah, it's the police. What do you mean? No shit. You reacted to this video that he was in? Wait, which video? Did I like him in this? Oh, in here. Dark
so
Gotham.
it felt like a Buddha.
Oh, this was a Joe's video.
Pissed off the Amish. And it turns out they weren't willing to drive to the polling places because they don't have cars. But if you came and got them, they would go and they would vote. And that's
I also like this, just like, I thought that, weren't people mad about, like, busing people to voting stations? Is that what he just said there? They just bust them to the polling station? I thought that was a bad thing, but okay.
one of the reasons why Trump won. Anyway, so like the law enforcement agencies are off working on like crazy things. Like the system's not working. And so you add up, just pick $130 billion programs. All right, now you're, okay, math major, 100 times 100.
$10,000.
$10,000. Okay, 10,000. All right, now you're, okay, math major, 100. Add up, just pick $130 billion programs. All right, now you're, okay, math major, 100 times 100.
10,000.
$130 billion programs. So $3 trillion, which is large, which is 2 times all of our federal outlays, all the discretionary spend, including all the military. That's how much we spend raiding Amish milk farmers. I hope that when Trump repeals whatever the fuck he does from the Constitution, they get rid of the 13th Amendment, we bring back slavery, and software engineers are just locked in pens and turned into the code monkeys they rightfully are. And we can bring back all the racism and all the bad stuff and just apply it to software devs.
$1,000. Okay, $10,000 per taxpayer per year.
But it's also not just about money.
10,000 per taxpayer. Like, imagine how many different levels of ignorance that you need to be on to say this. Like, how much do you not have to understand? 1, that number is insane. That's already 2 times all of our discretionary federal spending. 2, you're implying that every dollar the government spends is a waste. 3, what about our military spending that Trump also wants to increase, by the way, like 2 points, okay? But then also, like, the average taxpayer doesn't even pay $10,000 in taxes, so they wouldn't be getting that money back. Also, dipshit, like the bottom half of Americans pay basically nothing in federal income tax, so they wouldn't even be getting that money back. It's just like, and then also, what's the country going to look like? We shut down every single part of the government, like.
That's really, obviously money is a hugely important thing, but it's the cavalier attitude
Yes.
that then in the ripple effect of that, it makes it so nobody wants to work in government and be productive. It makes it so that it breeds corruption. It breeds laziness. It breeds secrecy because you don't want to be transparent about having done nothing all year, all this kind of stuff. And you want to reverse that so that it would be exciting for the future to work in government. Because the amazing thing, if you're the steelman government, is you can do shit at scale. You have money and you can directly impact.
That's the steel man. That's not like the world that we currently live in, right? That's not the world that exists right now. That's the steel man version, right? He's not doing a podcast at a state with microphones that were shipped from overseas because of like trade that the federal government organizes and directs. He is not using electricity and stuff that's powered by power plants and stations that are built probably with international labor, probably with domestic labor, probably with cooperation and coordination to some extent from the federal government, definitely from the state government, definitely utilizing like labor, talent, supplies from all the different states, all the different countries on the planet. Like the fact that
people's lives in a positive sense.
But this is the steelman version. In reality, what we have is a total apocalypse.
At scale. It's super exciting. As long as there's no bureaucracy that slows you down, or not huge amounts of bureaucracy that slows you down significantly.
Yeah. So here's the turn. This blew my mind because I was, once you open the hellmouth of looking into the federal budget, you learn all kinds of things. So there is a term of
like, keep in mind, both of these fucking retards worship Elon Musk, okay? And what was one of the most important things that Elon Musk did? Elon Musk walked in and he chopped off 80% of Twitter. 80% of Twitter's workforce. Isn't that a private company? What does that say about how efficient your industry is? What does that say about how efficient you guys are? If this guy could come in and axe 4/5 of your workforce and it more or less, just kind of like carried on. Like,
of art in government called impoundment. And so you, if you're like me, you've learned this the hard way when your car has been impounded. The government meaning of impoundment, the federal budget meaning is a different meaning. Impoundment is as follows. The Constitution requires Congress to authorize money to be spent by the executive branch, right? So the executive branch goes to Congress, says we need money X. Congress does their thing. They come back and they say you can have money Y. The money is appropriated from Congress. The executive branch spends it on the military or whatever they spend it on, or on roads to nowhere, or charging stations to nowhere, or whatever. And what's in the Constitution is the Congress appropriates the money. Over the last 60 years, there has been an additional interpretation of appropriations applied by the courts and by the system, which is the executive branch not only needs Congress to appropriate X amount of money, the executive branch is not allowed to underspend.
Yeah.
what is he referring to there? Can somebody link me that? Is it even true? What is he referring to there? I mean, actually, I guess I could kind of see that as being true. But that almost seems like it would logically follow. Like if I authorize $80 billion from Congress for a department and the president's like, well, we're not going to spend any of it. Well, no, we're giving you this money. We want you to fucking spend it on this shit. I mean, that seems like that's what you would want, right? Like,
I'm aware of this.
And so there's this thing that happens in Washington at the end of every fiscal year, which is September 30th, and it's the great budget flush. And any remaining money that's in the system that they don't know how to productively spend, they deliberately spend it unproductively.
based.
Yep.
To the tune of hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars.
Source? No.
A president that doesn't want to spend the money can't not spend it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's not what's in the Constitution. And there's actually quite a good Wikipedia page that goes through the great debate on this that's played out in the legal world over the last.
I want to kill myself. This motherfucker wants to talk about branches of government, constitutional interpretations, what's legal, and he cites a Wikipedia article. Actually, just kill me. Just fucking kill me. Not a Supreme Court case that would deal with this, or even a fucking quote from some fucking robe-wearing dipshit, okay, from a judge, from an actual judge. A fucking Wikipedia page that follows this. Kill me, please.
Last 60 years. And like, basically, if you look at this with anything resembling, I think, an open mind, you're like, all right, this is not what the founders meant. And then number two, again, we go back to this thing of contempt. Like, can you imagine showing up and running the government like that and thinking that you're doing the right thing and not going home at night and thinking that you've sold your soul, right? Like, it's just like, I actually think you sort of had a really good point, which is it's even unfair to the people who have to execute this.
Yeah.
Right. Because it makes them bad people, and they didn't start out wanting to be bad people. And so there is stuff like this, like,
Yeah. Everywhere.
And so we'll see how far these guys get. I am extremely encouraged what I've seen so far.
It seems like a lot of people will try to slow them down, but yeah, I
sure.
hope they get far.
Yeah.
Kill me. Good luck, America. I look forward to tomorrow morning. We get to see what the market's open as with these wonderfully efficient people. Also, by the way, mark my words. Mark my words. The deficit, the budget deficit is not going down. Unless he's violating like multiple promises in order to make that happen. He wants to increase military spending to 5% of GDP. Well, that might happen naturally if he decreases our GDP enough. If economic contraction happens enough, maybe we'll get to 5% military spending without actually increasing the absolute value we spend, because as a percentage of GDP, it'll be higher. He wants to lower taxes even more. He's going to extend the tax cuts. That's even more pressure on the deficits. He's decreasing the amount of trade and economic activity, which is decreasing tax receipts. I have no fucking idea. Unless he wants to start making huge cuts to Medicare and Social Security, I have no idea where the fuck they're going to get any of their savings from. Because they're too retarded to even touch any of the federal programs. They don't know how government works. They don't know what these programs do. I don't know. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? Well, Literally zero chance they make any savings with the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act being renewed. And don't they want to renew it more aggressively? Didn't they want to expand it a bit as well? Which programs would you target? I don't know. We have to decide what programs we think are important to spend money on. You know what I would do? This is going to be mean, but here's what I think we need to do. One, to get rid of the Trump tax cuts. Nobody needs them. Fuck off. Oh my God. Okay. Number two, you know what we need to do? Even Econo Boy agreed with this. We need to expand the tax net. Okay. Most Americans should be paying some federal income tax, and it's an easy way to collect a fuck ton of money. And fuck it, you should be bought into this country a little bit more. We need to expand the tax net, meaning middle class and even working class a little bit should pay some federal taxes. Maybe bump up your top rates. I don't know, a couple points. Fucking people can pay for it. I think they should probably close the. I don't think you should be able to borrow against assets that you don't have a tax basis in. So no more borrowing against fucking investments with a tax basis of $100. That's bullshit. And then fucking triple the budget of the IRS, okay, and outfit them with the sickest fucking gear in the world. All right, fully automatic pump action shotguns. That's contradictory. I don't give a fuck. Make them do both. Pump them just to look cool. Fucking jets. I want F-35 IRS pilots. Okay, vertical takeoff and landing on corporate helipads to seize the money that's rightfully ours, all right? And path to citizenship for all the fucking illegals here. Don't waste my fucking money throwing workers out of my country. How fucking retarded is that? You're complaining about Mexico outcompeting us on manufacturing, and you want to throw away all the people who are going to work in their fucking factories back to that country? What kind of a fucking moron are you? Give them a fucking path to citizenship. Find them if you want, I guess. I don't give a fuck. Make them pay for a green card or make them pay an extra $1,000 if it makes you feel better about yourself, and put them to fucking work and collect more money from them. Hell yeah. But we don't want to do any of that because we don't have the appetite for any of that. So, fuck us. I'll be back tomorrow. Stay safe. Be careful. I love y'all so much. Connections? Fuck you. If you make the TCJA permanent, you're looking at nearly 5% in growth over the long run. Projected revenue loss is $1.4 trillion by 2027. This is 0.14% of GDP per year. Now take that plus current bond markets plus strong dollar and demand for U.S. treasuries, and the annual debt cost is about 3% of annual GDP increase. Why are you worried? Taxes also increase, or also easier to adjust to the future, and the tax base of the TCJA provides a more efficient way of raising future revenue. TCJA is long-term debt bullish. Okay, we'll see. 5% GDP growth in long run from I don't know. I don't believe you, but you know, we'll see. I don't know. I haven't seen the CBOs. That is 100% fantasy. Yeah. Oh fuck! There was a late Reddit post I was going to go over too. Wait, did I already do a puzzle today? Oh fuck! Was it past midnight yesterday? I was going to give a hot take because I need more people to hate me. My male friend keeps making jokes about raping me. Jesus Christ. More of my DMs getting public? Just kidding. I feel like I read this today. How the fuck? How many people post in this fucking subreddit? Oh, people delete their shit all the time too. Oh shit, wait, it might have been this one, hold on. Oh, no. Fuck, it was the abortion one. Jesus. The guy not driving his girlfriend to the abortion clinic. Yeah, fuck. Where is it? Link me that one. Oh. I might just be sensitive to this, okay? Just to give some background, my boyfriend did work a 12-hour overnight, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., then was supposed to drive me to my appointment at 9:30 a.m. Okay, I will admit I am biased because I worked overnights. For some reason, the feeling that I have is that when you work overnight, nobody treats your hours like they mean anything. So for instance, 2 p.m. is like a super reasonable time to do stuff. But if you tell somebody, well, I worked I worked from 9 to 6, like I got off at 6 a.m. They're like, okay, yeah, but I mean, like it's 2 p.m. Like people just are like, okay, well, that's like, it's 2 p.m. And nobody has any respect for time that exists outside of the ordinary, like 9 to 5 normal human cycle. So whatever. But I'm just saying that when I see this sounds like a recipe for disaster. You're working a 6 to 6 and somebody expects you to drive them somewhere at 9:30 a.m. That's a rough one, but okay. He went to bed for a nap, and he did seem really tired. He said I would wake him up 15 minutes before we had to leave. So eventually it's time to wake him, and I do. Takes a bit more effort than usual to rouse him, but he does get out of bed, took 2 steps out of the bedroom and hit me with the, I think I'm too tired to drive you. Now, usually I'm a problem solver, but this morning I really didn't want to argue with him or anything, so I just said, okay, grabbed my things and started leaving. On the way out, he said sorry and asked if I wanted him to call his mom to drive me. I said no, clearly crying at this point. He says he loves me quietly. I say it back. He says he loves me. I quietly say it back. Thankfully, I have wonderful parents who both left work early to support me. And this was the text exchange when he had woken up and I had finished my procedure. I really don't think I'm overreacting. None of my family does either. If anything, I seem to be the only one that really wants to forgive him. Thank you all for reading this. I'm sorry for so many pictures to read. 1:40 p.m. How are you, baby? I'm staying at my parents' house tonight. Okay, taking a while. No, I'll be back at the apartment tomorrow probably. I mean the doctor's. I was there for 4 hours. It still shows you there. Huh? It shows you had to get surgery. Yes. Are you mad at me? Matt, you left me alone to get an abortion alone. Or you left me to get an abortion alone. My mom, my dad and mom both left work. I worked 12 hours overnight. I need to sleep. Yeah, we can talk when I come back to the apartment, but I'm pretty sure we're done. And I'm moving out today. It was awful. And I really needed you there. And you weren't there. LeMayo. That's caps. That's a pretty rough one, but okay. LeMayo. Are you serious? I'm really sorry I couldn't go, Lily. I wanted to, but you're 100% being unfair to me right now and taking it out on me. Can you stop ignoring me, please? This is serious, and I feel really terrible right now, too. Hello, response would be nice, please, baby. If you need space and want to talk later, that's fine. I don't know even what to say to you. What do you mean? I didn't do this on purpose. Like, you made it at such a bad time for me, and I'm sorry, baby. I didn't blow you off for some fun or stupid shit. I legit had work, and I have been working extremely hard lately, and I'm exhausted. I'm going to bed at normal times and sleeping well, and I'm still exhausted. I don't know what else to do. Can you please stop ignoring me over a serious issue? I just literally like a week ago, you were able to stay up and go get weed. I don't know what this, Jesus, bro, this is like a woman's argument. Oh my God. Well, a week ago, you didn't, I'm like, what? But okay. Literally like a week ago, you were able to stay up and go get weed. So I don't understand why today was different. I'm curious, like if you'd worked the same or the hours or whatever, and why you didn't care that I was crying when I was leaving. I know, I guess I put on a brave face, but this was really scary. I've been crying all day. That wasn't the plan. My mom was supposed to drive, and I was supposed to sleep in my car. And I don't know how I can stay with someone who doesn't seem to care about me enough to drive me to my abortion. What? Why wouldn't you even tell me that? No, with the weed. Oh, I understand. But then, baby, for fuck's sake, I don't know if I'm just like paranoid or something, but I feel like anybody that unironically uses baby, I always feel like that's like a psycho killer red flag. But I don't know. Maybe they're like normal people that say that. I don't know. But then, baby, for fuck's sake, all I needed was for you to drive me home. You could have slept in the car at my appointment. But then shit changed, so I just said fuck it and chugged some coffee. But by the time Kay was on the way home, I was yawning. He was talking about the weed trip, I guess. And I didn't know it would take so long. But I didn't think of you driving there. I was so tired I wasn't in a right state of mind. But even if you had come with me, I would fully expect you to wait because I'm having an abortion. I mean, of course I would have. We can talk Friday morning, but I don't think you can make this up to me. But like, I didn't have off, like you're saying, I just got off shift. If it was later, I would have been fine. You didn't talk to me at all about it and then just dropped me having to drive you at this time. Now, if this is true, she really scheduled this, expected him to drive her while he's working doubles overnight. What? I'm so curious, like what the background is to their work arrangement or what's going on here, because like, holy shit. Dropped me having to drive you. I told you I would likely need you because I wasn't sure if my parents would be working or not. Okay, then plan it when I'm not at work. Like, how does that not make sense? Okay, she doesn't respond to that. I feel like this is like the obvious answer. Like, what the fuck? No? Like, but what you didn't want to take a day off of work, but you'll take a day off work to go to a cabin with your parents and then making out to be an asshole. Okay, that's retaliatory. It probably doesn't need that, but okay. If you had told me from the get-go that you wouldn't be able to drive me or it would be hard on you, I would have rescheduled. I did. I literally did. And then after your parents said they couldn't, I did say okay, but I can't predict how work will go and how rough a shift or shifts will be. I understand that you were exhausted, and you're right, I could have made a better appointment and just take the day off work, but I still think you could have tried much harder to wake yourself up. Bro. I just shouldn't have went to bed. I know that it's best I don't go to sleep, but I don't know what to tell you. I'm extremely sorry, and I love you, and that shit sucks, and I don't know what else to say. I love you too, Matt, but that's all you had to say. But instead, you made excuses. And I think you said sorry this morning, but it definitely didn't feel sincere. I don't even remember waking up. I was still like asleep. That wasn't intentional or malicious. Okay, that's fair. I don't know. My parents are furious. Well, and they should have offered to take you in all honesty. If you told them I was working an overnight especially, you did not just say that. I mean, given the day you scheduled it and the circumstances, yeah, but you said you would drive me, bro. I don't know. I feel like this is wild. This guy's working a double overnight and you schedule it at 9:30, 3.5 hours after his shift. Like, the reason why this shit kind of like pisses me off so much is because if you ever treated a day worker like they treat night workers, they would kill you. Like, if you went to a person who works a 9 to 5 and you're like, hey, listen, do you think you could like give me a ride? I have an appointment tomorrow at like 2:30. Like, they would tell you, bro, I work at 9. No. Or like, I have to be up by like 7 or 8. Like, no, I'm not going to take you somewhere at 2:30. That's fucking retarded. Like, what are you, a fucking vampire? What do you mean drive you at 2:30 a.m.? But the comments, abort him. This, if he thinks you getting a surgery that is both physically and mentally taxing isn't a big deal, he is seriously emotionally twisted. He is just as responsible for this pregnancy as you. He's a terrible partner and completely insensitive. Abort this piece of shit immediately. When you said we're done and I needed you and you weren't there and his first reply was LeMayo, you should have dropped him immediately. Absolutely zero respect for you. That's atrocious behavior. If anything, you're underreacting. I have PCOS and endometriosis. If you think I'm talking about you, I promise to God I'm not talking about you, okay? If you're listening. But This is like the new thing that every woman has PCOS. If you ever want to sound like you know a lot about women's bodies, if a woman ever complains about like, oh, I'm tired, or I feel like my mustache is thicker than normal, or like I get weird questions, like, oh, do you have PCOS? And I was like, oh my God, I do. How did you know? Every woman has PCOS these days. But whatever. I have PCOS and endometriosis. In 2015, I was living with my boyfriend of 5 years, and one night I woke up in a pool of blood and in so much pain. This motherfucker gagged me when he woke up, drove me to the ER, and then dumped me at the entrance so he could go get some sleep. What does this even mean? Like really? Actually gagged you? I was pale, shaky, and needed a blood transfusion and a lot of meds to stem the bleeding. I was bleeding through MaxiPads in 10 minutes. My mom ended up driving 3 hours in the middle of the night just to be with me so I wasn't alone. I left him 3 months later. How is this comparable? What? Oh, he gagged when he woke me up. Not gagged her. Oh, okay. True. My bad. Not the asshole. It's the LeMayo that did it for me. Just wow. Okay. Girl, don't ever let this man get you pregnant ever again. This just goes to show who he is. Unfortunately, you need to grow a backbone. Why is he checking your location? What? Because she went to the fucking hospital? What kind of a question is this? Right? Like she's upset about what he did and he actually tried to pick a fight like she's lying about her location? It sounded like he was just asking if she was still at the hospital. Like, your parents did what people do when a person loves and supports another person. Your BF did what people do when they take another person for granted. If you're going to have unprotected sex in the future, please do it with someone that will love and support you, not the turd that you live. Jesus Christ, bro. If you ever work a fucking don't ever work a night job because people will never yeah, I don't know. Sorry, hold on. We got a mad epic YouTube chatter. LOL, I drove my husband to urgent care and ER after 3 back-to-back 12-hour night shifts. I was tired as shit, but it was a medical emergency. Bro should have gone with her, even if he wasn't driving. Oof, yeah. I can't take Destiny seriously anymore when it comes to women's issues. This isn't necessarily a woman's issue. She had a scheduled medical thing. Why not? This was an appointment, motherfucker. Not going to the ER or not going to the fucking ER or urgent care. This was an appointment. She made a medical appointment for an operation. It happened to be an abortion, but it could theoretically be anything. Why not just make the appointment at a different time? She wasn't rushed to the ER or urgent care. What are you talking about? I work 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. I'm constantly expected to do shiz at 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Whatever family or I need something, I get scheduled at trash hours and no one cares. Yeah, true. Anyway, good. Hate me. Also, driving while having zero sleep is also dangerous, but nobody cares. Suck it up, man. Okay. I love you. It's been fun. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully the markets are in one piece. Stay safe. Don't die, okay?